Today, we will show you the first-time setup guide for the newly released SeaFrogs underwater camera housing for the Sony A6700. In the box, you will find general information regarding the proper maintenance of your camera housing to ensure a longer lifespan. You will also find the silicone eye cup for the optical viewfinder, the silicone grease, a plastic bag with spare O-rings, anti-fog sheets, user manual, a plastic bag with a shoulder strap and a wrist strap, dust covers for the housing body and the port, and of course the housing itself. The housing is shipped with the port installed. In this case, we will be talking about the 4-inch glass flat port for the Sigma 1850 lens. Press the release button on the housing to remove the port and rotate the port anti-clockwise until it aligns with the white dot. In the housing, there is the zoom gear for the Sigma 1850 lens. To prepare the housing for usage, you will need to maintain the O-rings. The housing is equipped with 3 O-rings. The main O-ring is located on the back plate, the second O-ring is on the main body, and the third O-ring is located on the port. Take the silicone grease, get a regular paper tissue, and remove old silicone grease. Repeat for all O-rings. In the future, it will also be necessary to regularly maintain O-rings on your housing. The instructional video for long-term O-ring maintenance is in the description. To maintain the O-ring, add some silicone grease to the end of your finger, then apply the silicone grease to the O-ring. And repeat for the O-ring in the housing body. And the O-ring on the port. I want to bring attention to the fact that the silicone grease should not be visible on the O-rings, as a large amount of silicone grease can lead to leakage in the housing. Leakage can also be caused by not using the original SeaFrog silicone grease, especially silicone grease that is of higher viscosity. After O-ring maintenance, install the port by placing it onto the groove and rotating it clockwise until a click is audible. After installing the port, you will of course need to place the camera in the housing. To do so, take the zoom gear and place it on the front of the lens. Remove the lens cap, place the on-off knob on the housing in the off position. Place the camera in the housing and ensure that the camera is properly installed. Ensure that the zoom gear is also correctly positioned. Then place the back cover and close the housing. Ensure that the latches are properly secured and cannot accidentally open. Turn on the camera and check the functionality of the zoom gear and the other functions of the camera. The next step is to perform a water bucket test. Even if the housing had undergone factory testing in a high-pressure chamber with an imitation of 40-meter water depth, it is necessary to perform a waterproofness test. To test the waterproofness of the camera housing, submerge the housing without the camera in water and press each button. Bubbles will be visible from different parts of the housing. If there is a leak, the leak detection system will make sound. A flashing light will also be visible. If this does not occur, then your housing is waterproof. After this test, your housing is ready for usage. Even after the preceding test, it is recommended that the first dive with the camera housing be performed without the camera. It is also recommended that between dives, in the case that the back plate needs to be opened, such as to swap out the battery or SD card, a short waterproofness test will be performed for a few minutes. I would also like to mention that the housing is equipped with a dual fiber optic cable port for the C and C-type fiber optic cable connection for triggering external strobe lights when taking photos. The housing is also equipped with a port for a pre-dive vacuum check system. The pre-dive vacuum check system is sold as an additional accessory and is not necessary for the usage of the camera housing. The camera housing is also equipped with an optical viewfinder. And a metal plate for the installation of additional accessories such as the dual or single handle tray, which can also be used to hold strobe or video lights.